Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. My name's Anna Pirelli. The comments that you see here are my views, beliefs, opinions, and sometimes they are not even my fully formed views, beliefs, and opinions. However, they are my understandings. Please do retain an open mind and reflect on any of the content and your comfort levels. If your views differ, please feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, it is possible to disagree in respectful ways. My way is not necessarily your way and vice versa. You might also find that some of the content on this playlist in regard to spiritual or universal laws, it resonates with you, meaning it feels right to you, while other laws may not feel right or they may not feel comfortable. If this is the case, the information is either not right for you or it is not right for you right now, and it might never be right for you at any given time. It really doesn't matter. As an earthy and practical person, I can put my hand up with all honesty and say that I have at different times had the same feelings about some of the content in here. And with some of them, I still have a level of skepticism within my viewpoints, but I choose to retain an open mind about the things that I don't fully understand for a few reasons. Firstly, because I believe it would be supreme arrogance to think that we all know all of the answers while we have a body. And because what is right for one of us is not necessarily right or suitable for all of us, and I choose to respect the differences. Please do leave your opinions, beliefs. Feel free to argue the points in a respectful way with any of the content on the slides and even my interpretations. And if you feel that you can add clarity around some of the content, we would all love to see it. Thank you. For now, though, let's explore the laws.
All creation is governed by law. The principles that operate in the outer universe, discoverable by scientists, are called natural laws. But there are subtler laws that rule the hidden spiritual planes and the inner realm of consciousness. Contained within these laws, or conditions, is the true nature of matter. Knowledge of these laws has an effect upon the mental urges. Mind is the builder. Stay in full mindfulness of the application of universal law as related to self and to others, and know that in love all life is given, in love all things move. In giving one attains, in giving one acquires. In giving, love becomes the fulfillment of desire, guided and directed in the ways that bring the more perfect knowledge of self as related to the universal, all-powerful, all-guiding, all divine influence in life. Love is life. When we go back, merge with the God source, in some infinitesimal but profound way, we expand the mind of God. Our higher self always points the best and most perfect way, and it is ours to listen and choose or reject what we hear. It does not blame, but patiently tries again to show the perfect way, the loving way. All of creation pushes forth. We are ever becoming. Identity ever remains. Universal Law 101. The Law of Unity. We are all connected, all bearing the seed of divinity. This is the way we start, and the way we develop into eternity. It is only while in third dimension physical form, and because of the greater separation of our higher self from the personality, we experience the illusion that we stand alone. Fear enters our emotional body because of this illusion and begins to close more profoundly our connection to the source. Also, when we experience great soul growth, in some small but profound manner, all benefit, all substance in this universe flows to us and through us. We are all.
So let's unpack this a little bit. Okay, so the law says that we're all connected and we all bear the seed of the divine or the divinity. That makes sense to me. I think most of us that are certainly involved or have spiritual faith or involved in metaphysics or healing energy will acknowledge and recognize that we all have that spark within us, and it might be called any number of things, from the Namaste to the Holy Spirit, divine flame, anything like that, and that as we're born with that, we it does continue to grow throughout the lifetime, the earthly lifetime. But the idea too of separation is because when we're born into our earthly form that we've actually forgotten where we've come from, because part of the life path is to recall and remember where we've come from and who we are, and to experience this illusion and shift beyond it, I believe, that we are standalone units, if you like, on the planet. And of course, it can be quite fearful to think of ourselves as being completely individual and isolated and alone, especially if we're disconnected from, and when I say disconnected, that doesn't mean that we actually are. This is the illusion that they're referring to. I would put it down to when we consciously don't have faith, or we're denying faith, or we don't want to believe that there is something greater than ourselves. I mean, obviously that's a little bit egotistical as well. If we think we're the be-all and end-all of the universe, what a narrow viewpoint. That's a bit judgmental from my perspective, but I sort of think it's a very limiting perception of who and what we are. And from my perspective, we've all got a purpose. But anyway, moving on with the law, basically I see it that the more we buy into this illusion and the more fearful we become, the more we shut this memory off of the interconnection that is between all of us, which is of course the law of unity. But however, as we open our minds, then we become more aware. Okay, so I want to actually address something here too, because I put this image up because it reminded me of a conversation that I had with an Aboriginal lady many years ago when we were contemplating this particular subject, the unity, the connection between all of us and the interconnection and how it all worked. So, it was just one of those deep and meaningfuls that you have. Now, bearing in mind, I live in Australia, and in the Southern Hemisphere, we generally have really brilliant night skies, and we have a really good look at the Milky Way. Most places that we live, you can actually see it quite clearly. And what I recall is one particular night, she was talking to me. We were just out there looking at the evening sky and sharing. And to put things into perspective, this lady was one of the stolen generation. So if you don't know what that means, I recommend that you do a Google on it. But either way, she had grown up separated primarily from her culture, and she had grown up, I think, actually in a Catholic orphanage, actually. But either way, we were having this conversation, and she looked up at the sky and she turned around and she said to me, she said, I just have this thing in my head, she said, that we on the earth, as we walk about day to day, she said, we're like the stars in the sky. She said, there's just billions and billions of us dotted all over the place. She said, and from each one of us, there's a shiny strand. She said, I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. She said, but I feel like there's a shiny strand, like what happens with these stars, and it reaches out and we all touch one another. She said, and it's just this great big web of interconnection. She said, and then at some point in time, she said, our strands, our shiny glows, she said that they go to a central point. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because I think this is what we're talking about here with unity, although that was her understanding and how she described it. I think it's certainly relatable. Anyway, I'm interested, of course, to hear your perspective, what your thoughts are, what your beliefs are, and whether or not this resonates with you. I'll look forward to seeing your comments. For now, I'm going to say thank you very much for being part of my journey. Take care. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye for now.